Alright, the lighting is not the best, but we'll make do what we have, right? Alright, so it's been a while since I made a YouTube video. It's been a very long while. The lighting really isn't the best, but again, we'll make do. So, what I want to talk to you, so it's been a while. It's been maybe about a month or two? I don't know. I really don't know. It's been a while though. There's been so many developments, guys. So many developments. My abilities have increased. Everything's like everything's been such a huge development. I've been doing shadow work too, working on myself a lot. I actually didn't think I'd be making a video soon, but my guardians were like, especially my higher self. My telepathy has really increased from able to not just talk to my guardians, but to my higher self and other higher entities, like higher entities now, which is just incredible to me. Feats that I would never have thought I'd reach, honestly speaking. But it's all been, I don't know, very eventful. Shit, things I would never have imagined. So, to start things off, I don't even know where to go from here. I guess last time I spoke of things, I was still pretty much evolving and awakening. And then I kind of went through some experiences manifesting more. I kind of went towards the concepts of not what I want, but what I need to, things I need to do. And I kind of stopped going towards hormonal desires. Literally, because I was like, what? As the video I watched, this dude, Ryan Cropper, he said, think about it, when's the last time you really were with someone? And I was like, good point. And after that, I was like, there's no point in me being hormonal or whatever the fuck. There's no point. I mean, see, there's a concept of watching porn or whatever the fuck, or whatever you want to call it. Watching very sexual, explicit videos, so on and so forth, right? Masturbation, there's all these factors, but it's like at the end of the day, what's masturbation gonna do? Are you really, like, how do you really feel when you do it? Like, to me, I've gotten to the point, right, where when I do these things, or when I used to do these things, I just, like, now if I try, right, I don't feel anything. I look at it and I'm like, I'm getting nothing from watching this. It's literally just pixels. I'm literally just, it's holographic pixels I'm looking at. Like, what's the actual point? Like, I'm not, these are actors, they're acting. Even if you go to amateur stuff, right, where it's like homemade, it's not like you're not there. So what are you really feeling? Or are you just it's basically, you're just programming yourself to feel something that you don't feel, basically. And you could be using that energy for higher things, like making a business, or I don't know, I don't know, making a business, manifesting amazing things to occur, drawing, reading a book, astral traveling, projecting, if you do projecting, if you travel to begin with, towards so many other things you could be using that energy for. And I just stopped and was like, what's the point? Like, I didn't really go towards it to begin with, but I just said, like, nah, what's the point? Like, I'm just done. But oh, I do some master. Sorry, I have to ask my guardians and my higher self if I can speak of some things before I say them now. Um, I've actually traveled some more, and the experiences have been very delightful. One experience I had was so I was I was astral traveling, right? And I was somewhere, right? I was in a different dimension, obviously. Like another, I was seeing things from another me, and the other me, like I was like in my mind, like my body's vibrating, and then I was seeing all these things. It was like I was being poked. I feel myself being poked, and I'm like, why am I being poked? Like who's touching me? And then in my mind, I'm thinking, bro, you're in your room. There's no one in your room. It must be some sort of spirit. But I was like, no, this feels very like it feels too real. Like what? Like how? I don't understand. But then I kind of came to the configuration of I'm not in my room. Like sometimes when I astral travel, I have to configure like, hold on, I'm not actually in my room right now, or like I'm somewhere else. So, cause sometimes it feels like a dream. Honestly speaking, sometimes, but it's pretty clear it's when you're dreaming compared to when you're not dreaming. It's pretty clear. But yeah, and then my cousin, right? She came in, she was trying to hug me, and I'm like, apparently the me there trying to astral project was in the process of trying to astral project. So I was like, oh, I was like, okay, okay. My cousin, when she was like, hey, like, give me a hug before I leave, and I was just like, I don't really want to get up, but like, I'm not like, because I was in the vibratory process where it's basically, I don't recall if it's you go through sleep paralysis first, before, or you start vibrating first before you go through. I think it's, you start vibrating in sleep paralysis, or sleep paralysis and you start vibrating. I forget which one it is. Um, but my body was vibrating, and my cousin was like, "Come on, like what the hell?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm trying to acquire something. I'm trying to get something done. Can you please not bother me?" This is before Valentine's Day hits. Yeah, this is before Valentine's Day hits. Um, right? And then I'm like, "All right, cool." I go ahead and barely give her a hug. And what happened? I saw my little brother was in the room with me, and I'm like, "Were you the one poking?" I'm looking at him like, "Were you the one poking me? Like the fuck? What kind of bullshit?" And um, I guess he left the room or something. Like then I leave the room next, because after my cousin leaves, he leaves and to say goodbye or something. Then I'm like, I just get out the room. And I'm just like walking, like so. I was just in my house, just walking to the kitchen. I see like a bunch of family, and everyone looks different. I mean, then again, it's a different earth, so everyone's gonna is bound to look different. And my grandfather, oh, I can't speak of those things. Oh, just not descriptive. Hmm. He was wearing different clothing than he usually would wear, like glasses and all. He never wears glasses, only towards like reading and all, I think. But glasses, different shirt. Like he looked professional. Like he was like a doctor or something like that. Like very professional. My grandmother, she looked like she was younger than she is naturally, and I was like, the hell. And then my mom was wearing this Chinese, like you guys. Oh crap! Do you guys know what's her name? She's from Street Fighter. um, is it Xiao Yu? No, that's Tekken. Oh my gosh, she's from Street Fighter. I forget her name, but she wears these like the tight dresses. Um, yes, not Yo-Yo. It's the girl from Street Fighter. I don't even know what her name is. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head, but I do know that she is like the buns in her hair, and she one of her main outfit is like this blue Chinese outfit from Street Fighter. Yeah, this blue Chinese outfit with these she has these white like not braces, but like these white band things on, fluffy band things on. And yeah, I do not know her name though, sadly. I'm thinking Ming Lee, but I know that's not her name. Why is Ming Lee coming to me? um, no, but and I was she, but she was my mom was wearing like a Chinese dress just like that, and it was very tight. It seemed like not very tight, but just really tight in the fit, and it had like a big like it was red, but it had like a big black butterfly on it. That was really beautiful actually. So it was like red and black, and a little bit of gold, or rather some gold. And I was looking, I'm like, why is she wearing a dress with that? And I see family too. I see a bunch of family, and I'm like, what's going on? And like, I could tell it was like some sort of family gathering, some sort of family dinner, big family dinner. And I'm like, what's? I was like, okay. Differences. So, hold up. So, you see all these plants? Sorry, I was eating cereal. See all these plants right here, all these orchids? It's so beautiful, right? I love plants. So much life. None of that was on the table. None of that was on the table at all. And my grandmother was telling my mom about some sort of water bottles, and so it's like 9 something at night right now. And I just got off work, so I'm kind of tired. Hey, boy. No, but yeah, no, it's just they're saying something about a water's right, and I was like, yeah, I can go get them, right? And my mom's looking like, my grandma was like, no, you will not go get those waters, and I'm like just in a very demanding, aggressive tone, and I was like, the hell? And then my grandmother and my mom looked at me like, watching. I like saying mom better. Yeah, mom feels very wonderful. I don't like saying really English terms. I really don't. Um, no, but my obeson and my okasa basically went ahead, and my grandmother looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, What are you talking about?" They were like, "You need." My grandmother was like, You seem to be getting like a bit ill, like a bit sick. You seem to be looking very sick. You need to eat more." And I'm like, I'm perfectly fine. And my and then like they said something in the cohort stuff like, yeah, you just seem to be sleeping more than you should be. And I'm like, I'm not even sleeping. Like, I haven't even been sleeping that much. Sleeping that much. I've just been astral projecting, astral traveling. Like, I don't understand. And like that's literally how like the me there was looking like, hmm? And my Okasa was looking at me like, yeah, well, his little brother's like he was sick too, so he's probably getting sick. And I was like, huh? And then I just walked back to my room, and then I came to, and I was like, what just happened? I was like, what did I just witness, right? So I'm like petting my dog right now. um, yeah, I've been astral traveling more than I've been traveling before, but I stop at times just because I have to do shadow work, basically healing the inner child wounds, the trauma, the PTSD that I've gone through and all. So I stop and not sorry, this chair's getting in my way. So I stop and all like hold on, every now and then. So like I should travel every now and then basically. Um, but my wisdom has increased tremendously, which I love. It's increased so much. I will tell you guys one thing. Well, not one thing, but I'll tell you guys something. Astrology is so amazing. Like I've gotten to so much astrology to understand so many things. So it's like when my family, when my brother, or any family or any friends do stupid, do very unmindful things. I'll say it like that. Not really mindful things. I don't look at it the way I look. You should look at things. I kind of just look at it like, hold up, what's your sign again? And I look at what the what the planets are in right like before they were in retrograde. So when people were making like very stupid mistakes and being irritated and like showing high levels of irritation, this, that, and this, I didn't really hold it against them because I already understood why these things were happening. So I was like, oh, I know exactly why this is happening. I know exactly why. So what's the point of me getting frustrated whatsoever, right? And then, yeah, astrology is so amazing. The more I've gotten into it, the more I understand. Like, sorry, I went ahead, right, and was doing my what I was trying to see like by myself because I'm a Scorpio, right? And I was always told Scorpios are vengeful, this and that and this, but then I looked at it and it was said like, hey, we can be like a scorpion, we can be like an eagle, and I was like, so basically we have the points that we can be vengeful like a scorpion, or we could be very wise and very just our better selves, like the best version of ourselves, like a eagle. Very a lot of foresight, a lot of just understanding things to a higher degree, understanding things to a higher depth of perception, higher depth of consciousness, to really be the best version of us, and not be vengeful, not be petty, not be angered or any of these factors easily or just in general, right? So when it came down to it, I really wish I had kind of lived alone because if so, I wouldn't have to deal with any noise. um, no, but when it comes down to it, right? Um, understanding my sign, understanding everyone's sign, I understand the personalities a lot more. So when it comes to people who I come across, who I meet, like for example, Sagittarius people who I've met, like my brother and my friend, and they're not necessarily. What I've noticed when it comes to Sagittarius is they don't really listen. I can't say all of them because I've only talked to two thus far, but the ones I've met don't listen at all. Like the one girl, the friend I had, I asked her what her sign was, right, and she was like Sagittarius, and I was like, this explains a lot. And she looked at me like, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But other than that, I just said like, because I was seeing out like Sagittarius is Sag. I hate saying the name. I would say Sag. Sages are very some are not all the same way. Because not all Scorpio, not all signs. People go towards saying people make the biggest mistake, right, of saying all signs are the same way, right? But when it comes down to it, that is pretty incorrect. Based on what each sign is based on what each person is going through, you could be Aquarius, but be in some accounts of a vengeful person, possibly. Not saying any Aquarius is, not saying they aren't, but you could be a very vengeful person based off of what you've gone through. So regardless of your sign, even no matter what your sign is, doesn't make you who you quote unquote are. It doesn't. With that being said, I've been doing so much research towards my shadow work, towards trauma, towards healing, towards understanding. Because again, the more, because I love all of you, right? And the more I understand myself, the more I understand so many factors, so many concepts. The more I understand, the more I feel so much more love. The more I kind of have a bigger understanding of so many things. The more I'm kind of getting out of my bubble of not really speaking to anyone, of just being very shy and all, right? I mean, I'm still kind of shy. I mean, I wouldn't say shy. I just don't like talking to people who aren't on my wavelength. But same account, when it comes, because I've been teaching a lot. I've been teaching people like about their abilities, how helping other empaths, other spiritual people, helping other individuals to evolve and so on and so forth. And when it comes down to, I don't force anything. I just kind of, my guardians, my higher self speak to me, like especially with the angel numbers and all. So I get the understanding of things I need to accomplish, what I need to do, what I need to not do, so on and so forth. I like to keep positive thoughts and that so on and so forth, you know? But when it comes down to it, what I've noticed is that, especially when it comes to advising people, spiritually speaking, some individuals, I look at it like the ones who aren't quite, the ones who are still asleep, I guess you could say. Those individuals I give certain advice to. I don't really like, what I usually say at times is, I give you other sets of advice, but you aren't ready for it yet. And they usually look at me like, you're not ready for it yet. And I'm like, you want, like I told a friend of mine, or I said to her, like last night, I said, I'd give you, because I was telling my manifestation, right? And I was saying, like, you're worrying this and this. I'm like, you could just manifest these things to occur so you could, like, not stop worrying about things, right? And what happened is, she was like, yeah, for my best, I can't talk about that. Oh, she just, she was saying something like a friend of hers was basically do manifestation towards her, right? For good things to happen. I was like, see, a friend of yours could do it, but it's like you could do it yourself too. You know that, right? But the same account looked at her and I was like, I'd help you, I'd teach you, but I can't. And I explained to her, I'm like, it's not that I don't want to, it's just the factoring of you're not ready for it. I said, you let your, when it comes down to it, manifestation especially, you can't let your fears and your doubts really cloud your judgment. You can't let it cloud your mind to the high degrees. It's not bad to be fearful, to be afraid at times. It's not bad to have doubts. It's not. There's never been bad to have doubts or to be afraid. But when it gets to a point where your doubts and your fears hold you back extremely from your true potential, then it becomes a problem. I look at it like I'm not going to teach you a thing until you get past these factors. And that's towards everyone. Literally, I can't teach. No, no. The way I look at it, you can be a teacher. You can be an advisor, a teacher. You could teach. You can advise. But until the person's ready to truly evolve and awaken within themselves, until they're ready to push themselves past their own limits, there's nothing you can do whatsoever. You can be an advisor, but you could give as much advice as you want. But if the person isn't there to listen, to understand, to acknowledge it, what's the point? Like, just keep your mouth shut and let's just let them fall. Even as horrible as that may sound, it's the truth. And those who would have advised, who teach, who guide, who mentor, know it's the truth too. Sometimes you have to let students, you have to let people fall so that they understand things, so that you can not pick them back up, no, but more so be there to be like, hey, I told you, look what happened. What did you learn? So that they can get to that higher peak and potential within themselves. Because again, advice can go so far, but if the person isn't listening, or they're not ready to listen, they're not ready to hear what you have to say, it's just going through blind. It's just going through deaf ears, literally. So when it came to advising and so on and so forth, I've learned a lot when it comes down to it. So I just, especially my higher self, my guardians say don't speak of things. I just stopped speaking of things because I know cause especially with my intuition, I learned that the more you go with your intuition, the better things become for you. So it's like when you know, okay, I shouldn't, like regardless if you're using telepathy or not, right? I mean, like, I shouldn't go to the store today. I shouldn't go food shopping today. I should go tomorrow, right? And then you're like, hold up, but I really want to get this from the store. But then you're like, I shouldn't go. You go, right? Something bad happens. And you're like, oh, I know I shouldn't, I should not, I shouldn't have gone. But then you listen to your intuition, right? So reverse. So same story, right? You listen to your intuition. You don't go to the store at all. You go the next day. So and they're like, "Oh, you should have saw this and that happen. Two people were fighting over this and that and this," and it's like, I'm so glad I didn't come, or like some, or something. And it's like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't come then. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to be here for that. You know. So so I learned that listening to your intuition is an amazing thing. I've also gone ahead and understood and been finding I guess you could say, spirit tribe, or my tribe of individuals who are awakened just like myself, who are spiritually just evolved to a high degree. Um, it's been nice. I manifested so many things to occur that I'd find friends who I could speak to on a higher level of frequency, who, like that I could. I manifested also to like be with someone, yes, but see, I learned that when it comes to the universe, you'll be given what you want, but not in the way you want it. So it's like, if you want to be with someone, the universe will send you a person on a high vibrational frequency, but the person may be like states away. Like, I mean, like hours, like days away from you. Like, it's no comment, or like living in a completely different country. It's not pretty at all. Literally, like I've gone through it. I'm going through it. It's not. I wasn't expecting that. That's when I learned, when you manifest things to happen, it's like, I will, or I am, like I am this, or this will occur, right? You have to set specific terms to be like, okay, I will meet someone in my state who lives 30 minutes away, who lives an hour away at least. Instead of being like, I will meet someone, and they're like, they're like in Oklahoma. No, but it's funny to me. Um, but yeah, I've gone through so many different experiences, especially I've been getting more into, because I wasn't really into a variety of things like doing like the tarot readings. I wasn't really into some factors, but I started to get into things gradually during the time I haven't been posting any videos at all. So yeah, tarot readings, which I'll be getting into myself maybe sooner or later, probably during the period of time I begin to astral project. I'm not supposed to do these things yet because, well, I need to heal from my wounds and all, so I can like do things with a very clear mind. Um, but yeah, tarot readings. Well, I've been channeling, which I see. I've basically been going over my own self, which is good to really go over yourself, right? To understand what you can and cannot do. And with that being said, I've been realizing like sometimes I do things that I don't really recognize. I do like channeling, for example. Sometimes when I channel, it's like either my subconscious is like, there's been a time where I was texting someone, right, and it's like I've noticed that there's been like two. It's like, okay, so, oh, I can't talk about that. Okay, so like the one time I was texting someone, right, I sent like a whole paragraph, right. I was like, all right, cool, and I already told them, I was like, just so you know, I didn't type that out. I didn't type that. So am I looking at the time to make sure like can do my I can wash my clothes on time. I have to stay up super late. Um, no, but I was like, hold up. I told him, like, just so you know, that wasn't me writing that. And they were like, what? I'm like, I channeled, like, that was either my subconscious or my higher self, and it was my subconscious for typing it all out. Literally, it wasn't me. There's been times where I'm like channeling, right? Like I just kind of, it's not even me speaking. It's like my higher self speaking. Literally, it's not me at all. And though I didn't remember the one she's she said to me. She said the one person I'm talking. She said, I want to learn how to channel, and I'm like, that requires higher levels of being in like an empath to a certain degree. Like you have to kind of like I just told her, I'm like, you're a beginner. It's when you truly get into these things, it's not all easy peasy. There's a lot to learn. I'm still learning myself too. I can't even say I know much because like I do know some things. I've seen various empaths, various people who are awakened, say like say the same thing. Like, yo, we don't know. We like I don't know everything, but the things I do know, I can speak about, right? But yeah, I've been going over shadow work, my abilities, because they've been increasing tremendously, especially with oh. So what I learned was I was watching this show on Netflix, and usually I do not ever watch TV ever. I never watch Netflix. I never watch anything. I just kind of stick to my anime and just I don't know, just do me and just sleep and just travel. um, but yeah, and what I came to understand was, which was it was very good for me to say. It went towards, it said, what do your abilities go towards? So this is my question to all of you, right? When it comes down to it, what do your ability like? What is your what do your abilities thrive from? And this show Winx on Netflix, it really opened my eyes up to things I never thought I would be open up to. Like Avatar: Last Airbender opened me up to the elements. Winx basically did the same thing, but in much more huge trajectory. In the precept of like, hey, so your abilities can either derive from rage, from happiness, from sadness, from pain and suffering, from anger, grief, misery, all the emotions, right? So as I looked at it, rage and anger, happiness and joy, misery and sadness. And what's the fourth thing? I don't necessarily. Oh, peace and stability, right? Hey boy, hey, hey. Give me a second. I love you. I love you. So adorable. Sorry, one moment. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. You know you're so pretty. Yeah, you know you're so pretty. I love you. Guys are probably looking like, bro, come on now. I'm sorry. he's this man. He's looking like, give me some more attention. But no, I noticed that. And also the factors of like night and day, darkness and light, and so many other factors like so many factors that you honestly have to question yourself towards. And I can understand that my abilities they derive from nature, my love for nature. I ask myself if they get more powerful when I'm with someone. No. It just they become more stable. They more stabilized, more peaceful. I should say grounded. But when it comes to nature, I'm more myself. I noticed that too when back when I used to smoke and I'd be outside. I was so much more myself when I was outside. Just peace and tranquility with everything. I felt so good, so amazing. Remember, I actually took a nap. I don't even know how long I slept for. I just slept and passed out outside. And was just, I got up. The sun was still beating on me, and I was just like, I couldn't even go back to sleep now. Literally, I just passed out of nowhere. No, but yeah. And when it just came down to it, wow, it was lovely. But yeah, I realized that my powers, my abilities, they grow stronger. They're so much stronger when I'm outside. In the light around nature beating on, with the sun beating on me, everything, they're so much more powerful. I can feel the energy so much more clearly. But then again, it makes sense because when you're outside, the energy is so much more clear. Not as condensed as when you're inside. It's more just spread out and more just fluid. You can really feel everything much more clearly. You can feel so much with Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. But yeah. And so I was like, so then I asked myself, so basically, my abilities derive from peace and tranquility. And that was it now. They do not derive from peace and tranquility, but joy and happiness. So I notice when I'm happier, when I'm very happy, when I'm very joyful, I feel much more than I usually would feel, at a much more higher rate than I usually would, compared to from sad or from feeling peaceful or something like that. When I'm in a good, very happy, smiley mood, I I feel things so incredibly, literally so intensely. My only issue is that, well, I'm still like learning how to control not absorbing people's energy. But yeah, there's so many things I've come to understand. But yeah, the question is, what do your abilities thrive from? Where do they come from? Happiness, sadness, anger, peace. Where do they come from? How, or rather, not even where do they come from. What makes them stronger? What makes them so much stronger? Is it when you focus on your anger? When you focus on your happiness? When you focus on your peace? When you focus on your sadness? What makes them stronger? What aids them in evolving to a higher depths of, well, consciousness, perception, whatever you want to call it? What aids them? What aids you in gaining more from your abilities? What aids you? But yeah, I've gained so many abilities, so many. um, it's things that I would never. I've been seeing things that you guys would never imagine. I can't even speak about them right now. Oh, I can. Well, yeah, exactly. Sorry, telepathy. No, but yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully, you guys. There was a Virgo moon so recently. What I've been doing, right, is I've been for my rituals and all, right. Not see, you guys know what I mean by rituals. Hopefully, what I've been doing is basically just going ahead and what I plan on doing actually now is going ahead and putting out water, a bottle of water for every full moon, so that I can channel the full moon's water for every full moon that occurs, right? And I'm not gonna be doing it like yearly. Depends on like when the water bottles are done. But otherwise, no, I'll just be channeling the moon's water from every moon, Scorpio moon, Virgo moon, Capricorn moon, Libra moon. So all these moons, literally, to enhance my rituals, especially manifestations, because I did not know that you can manifest with water. I did not know you could just drink, you just sip the water, or rather, you manifest, right, and then you sip the water, or something. I think it goes something, those the chords. in that content. I don't really know all that much towards it. But yeah. Other than that, Jana, love you guys.